he wants to fight Deontay Wilder. Even if, as people wanted to spin, Hearn doesn't want to fight her, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't talk Joshua into doing something. I don't convince him to do something that he shouldn't. That's for other people to do in other teams. But he wants to fight Wilder. So again, like, he wants that fight after the Miller fight. That's the only fight that he wants. If he has to fight Usyk, so be it. But he wants the Wilder fight next, not 2020, 2019.
Eddie, and just to piggyback off what he said, you mentioned that at the end of the day you feel that the zone's the one that's going to bring the most money to the table, but Bob mentioned something about obviously the zone not having any kind of pay-per-view platform, but can you
But they don't need a pay-per-view platform because they're paying the money. Pay-per-view is one of those things where it's very easy for me to say to a fighter, this fight's going to do 1 million buys, it's going to do 2 million buys, and then it goes out and it does 500,000 buys. The zone are guaranteeing the pay-per-view revenue. It's a whole different model. So what they're doing in the Jacobs Canelo fight is guaranteeing an amount of buys that is probably not achievable. So for the fighter, it's amazing.
For that fight in particular,
yeah, but
or
for
in general?
all fights. So it's amazing for a fighter to not have to worry about the pay-per-view buys and sit there and sweat on your check. Do you know what I mean? In an untested market. The UK is very different. I can tell you probably to 5% or 10% what Joshua's going to do for every single fight. In the US, where is the proven models to say that Joshua Wilder does, I don't know, 1.5 million buys? No, but I think it could do 1 million plus that fight. Could. Would I bet on it? No way. I want the guaranteed money for 1 million plus buys. That's what I want.
So for example, Crawford versus Khan's going to be a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That one, the zone, do you feel that the money would be better for individuals, particularly in that fight?
The key to the DAZN model is paying the rights fee that generally the public would be paying for you. So with no pay-per-view, on a normal pay-per-view night, the public are paying the purses of the fighters. Right? Now, DAZN is saying to the public, you don't have to, we're going to cover that. Right? So Crawford is a big loss leader in my opinion for Top Rank because, I don't know, what does it do buys? 150, 200? Yeah, something like that. But I know what both guys are getting. That's horrific. The financial makeup of this fight is all wrong. So it's not ideal for anyone, but you can't, I've seen the same thing in the UK. For people like Showtime, Top Rank a little bit, you can't give the money that DAZN can give, so you have to go pay-per-view. That's why fights like Spencer Garcia, although it did okay on the pay-per-view, yeah, but really that should be a Showtime or a Fox fight. But they can't afford the rights fees now, so they have to go pay-per-view. I don't blame them. I don't have a problem with the pay-per-view model. What I have a problem with is the price point. Right? In the UK, we're $25 a pay-per-view. Over here, you're $80, $90, sometimes $100 for the mega ones. Yeah, but for the mega ones.
Yeah, true.
So that's a lot of money. And I just feel that now you've gone from a stage where you had Wilder Fury in December, you had Pacquiao Broner in January, you had Spence against Garcia in March. Now you've got Crawford against Khan in April. I mean, it's like it's a pay-per-view every month. So as a fight fan, you're being asked to pay $80 or whatever it is a month for one night. And when you talk about, like, Bob's so contradicting sometimes because he'll say ESPN's the platform and look at the exposure and this.
He says you don't have a megaphone.
No, but he's right. No, the benefit that Bob has is the platform of ESPN. Unquestionably, I'm not an idiot. But what is it doing to the fighters? Like, okay, great, Lomachenko's on ESPN. Is he a star? No, absolutely not.
We don't see him on the First Take program.
You don't see him on anything. You don't see anyone sitting down in a crowd at the gate. That's the ultimate solution and answer to a fighter's profiles. Bums on seats. It's a very straightforward method. So it's all very well getting the profile and the exposure, but how do you monetize that? How do you turn fighters into superstars? By getting that exposure. Terence Crawford. If Terence Crawford walked down here now, do you honestly, I mean, we're at a boxing media night, so obviously people are going to know who he is. Do you honestly think that there would be people down that street going, wow, it's Terence Crawford, wow, follow him around? No. Even the same with Deontay Wilder. I mean, Deontay's getting there. But like, Terence Crawford is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. He's brilliant. I think he's great. He should be, like I've always said about Wilder should walk down any major city street and get mobbed by people. He is a great fighter, exciting fighter, He's an athlete. He's a good talker. He's American. He's the world heavyweight champion. This is the problem with boxing in this country. But it's not boxing's fault. It's just you've got so many sports that are taking priority over boxing. So, like, sad as it is, if we were in England now and I walked down the street, I would get mobbed by people. When's Wilder fighting? When's Fury doing this? What? Because boxing is right up there as probably the number 2 sport in the UK. Everyone's talking about it. So it's not really the fighter's fault. And although there is bad promotion, it's not always the promoter's fault. It's just the general position of boxing.
Did you find? I mean, obviously, you would have rather Deontay take the 3-fight deal and we get Joshua Wilder. But did you find it kind of ballsy that he's gambling on himself and thinking I could get more money?
I don't think it was his decision. It was his decision, but I don't think it was a decision that he made off his own back. You know, I think he was advised to take that decision. And listen, if he's getting the same money, I mean, one thing that he's definitely sure is this fight is twice the size it was a year ago, right? And it may be twice the size in another year than it is now.
So he'd be smart to hold out if that's the case.
If everybody kept winning. Because he should have lost, by the way, in his last fight. So that would have changed everything. All of a sudden, that fight would have been dead. If those scorecards were how those scorecards should have been, that fight was dead, right? We've still got a chance. Don't blow the chance. Let's not be greedy. We're lucky to even still have it. So let's make it happen and take the chance now.
Eddie, and now putting the show here at the Forum, Los Angeles is a hotbed for boxing.
Yeah.
You feel you're starting to get a grip on things, on how things work in America?
Slowly, it's just starting to understand what the customer wants. That's the key to running a successful promotional business. It's just your fans, you know, not you, but these people are fans. So what do you want? What do you like? What makes you turn up? You know, and what I'm trying to do is deliver value. That's the first thing that you should always try and deliver. On April 26th, I think we have probably one of the cards of the year in terms of value. And as long as you do that, the people that turn up, I hope we have 7,000 in there. Should be a good crowd. Every one of those people.
You have 7,000?
No, I believe that's what we'll have. About 4,500 at the moment.
That's good,
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, but it's more than Lomachenko. You know, no, but seriously, like that's so. When I don't know dick about boxing, I've got a show doing better than the superstar, pound for pound star just down the road. But I know that everybody in that arena will leave and go, great night, I got value for money. And Philadelphia, our Philadelphia show was probably the first show that I did where I was really happy with the entire card, top to bottom. And I know what did we have in there that night? 5,000. Every one of those people will come next time. So next time, and they'll tell their friends. So it might be 7,000. Next time it might be 9,000. It's the only way to do it. But what I'm learning is, again, what works in Kansas don't work in LA. And what works in LA doesn't work in Turning Stone. You know? That's the key. But what works in London works in Manchester. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just me turning up and having a nice bit of food with you great people. It's about understanding how can we drive attendance and excitement for April 26th? And that's what we're still learning and finding out and making sure we have the right team around us. But it all starts with the product. And the product is the fight, it's the cards, it's the show, it's the production, it's the in-event experience, it's the build-up, it's the hype. But ultimately, it is how good is the event. When I leave the arena, did I enjoy it? And that is the ultimate test to say, wow, that was a great night, I'm coming next time.
You think the demographics probably have a lot to do with it?
Yeah.